So after the recent news that Quantum Break is coming to the PC and it's going to be cross-buy, some are wondering, if this is just kind of a one-off or an experiment, or if this is going to be a feature that Microsoft is going to be implementing moving forward. So Phil was actually asked this on Twitter. The person said, quote, "Do you expect third-party games on the cross-buy list or just Microsoft-related releases?" And Phil responded with, quote, "We'll make it a platform feature. We think it's good for gamers." And so according to that statement, it certainly looks like a lot more Xbox One games are going to be cross-buy going into the future. And I did a video about this yesterday. I'll post a link down below in case you missed it, because I'm not going to go repeating all that. But I told you, I think it's a good idea, and I'll lay out why. But also, we're going to try something new. In this video, you should see in the top right-hand corner like a little icon that if you hover over it, or maybe you have to click on it, I'm not sure, you should see a poll that you can take yourself and see what everybody else is thinking. So take the poll, tell me if you think this is a good idea or not. But if you pay attention to it, he didn't quite answer the question if this is going to be something moving forward for everything like third-party publishers. And I'm sure he can't exactly give an answer for that, because they're going to need the permissions of the publishers that they work with if they're third party in order to make sure everything's okay before they just go giving free copies of games from the people that they work with. So business deals are going to have to be worked out, but I will tell you what this does, and I'll mention a few things that I didn't mention in the last video. But I can tell you that, at least for me, Quantum Break was something that I was not planning on buying digitally for Xbox One. Like, I don't buy a lot of single-player games digitally for Xbox One. I've told you that before. I would buy that, physically if I bought it, or I might even rent it, and then that way I could turn around and sell it if I don't like it, or if I want to, I'm just done with it, whatever. But because of this whole cross-buy deal, it's actually getting me to pre-order this game digitally for Xbox One. I'm going to make that move that I normally wouldn't do. So I'm sure that other people are also going to do that, which means that they're going to be selling more digital Xbox One games than maybe they wouldn't have before this whole deal. And also, if you're buying the game digitally from the Windows Store, then that means more money for Microsoft, because I've pointed out before in previous videos the breakdown. Like, if you take a $60 game, you cut it and you measure, what percentage goes where. There's a certain percentage that goes towards packaging. There's a certain percentage that the retailers get whenever they sell you the game. There's a certain percentage that goes to publishers and everything else. So if they're removing a large chunk of that money, then you can see how they may also can afford to give you a copy of the PC version. And also, not everybody's going to go and be able to use that PC version of the key, because not everybody has a gaming PC who can actually even play it. So that means they're probably going to be making more money over the long term by getting more people to buy digitally. This is just one marketing tool to get you to buy a game digitally. And I still find this whole notion, though, that people aren't going to buy an Xbox One because it's also on the PC just insane, because it doesn't even make any sense. I'll give you just a basic example. Tell me, Einstein, why is it that a game like Call of Duty, which is on all three platforms, has a ton more people playing it on PS4 and Xbox One than on PC? So, I mean, if a game's on PC that is supposed to magically mean that nobody's going to buy it on consoles, your whole argument just gets thrown out the window just by looking at that one game alone. I mean, we've destroyed this whole argument so many times, but it still bears repeating. PC is intimidating, it's expensive, it's not ideal for a large chunk of gamers. I had a friend recently, not too recently, who built a PC. I kind of talked him into it, and he still prefers playing on the console. So he's got this gaming rig. He still wants to sit down, play on a closed system with a controller in front of his TV, jump in and out easily with parties, and just play. That's his prerogative, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I do hope that more games come over. I actually hope that more past games come over, because I have a lot of friends who aren't going to go buy a console. They were never going to go and invest in a console, whether it be PS4 or Xbox, because they play the majority of their games on the PC. And I would love to sit down and play Halo or Forza with those people. And it's crazy to get mad because more people are getting to play good games, especially when it does absolutely nothing to devalue your experience if you're on the console. And once again, Microsoft is simply giving you more for your money. Yes, those greedy bastards at Microsoft giving you more for your money. So you're never going to hear me complaining about that. And while some will argue that they find the value going down, the opposite is also true. People like me find that the value and investment is actually going up. So Phil also took a lot of other questions and statements on this. I'll leave a link down below if you want to go check it out. As always, you can find the latest headlines as they happen on VGN, videogamesnews.com. Take that poll on the video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.